All right, today I want to talk about some big new Nintendo Switch game sales going on, one of which having to do with the Nintendo Switch eShop and a major publisher sale that actually has some games that we don't always typically see go on discount, the other of which will be tied to Amazon Prime Day, and I will have both of these timestamped in the video for easy viewing down below, but one of them you will have a lot more time to get, being the eShop sale, than the Prime Day one, so just keep that in mind. You will legitimately need to be making the purchases for some of these Prime Day discounts on the day this video goes live, but nonetheless, we're going to break all of that down. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And with that, I want to first hop over to the Nintendo Switch sales and deals page, which you will be able to see linked in the description down below. We do have an interesting, rare sale from Nintendo where they're actually selling one of their refurbished Nintendo Switch consoles with Switch Sports included. I clicked on it. It looks like it's $299, so you get a refurbished console and a free game for $299. Not the best bundle Nintendo's ever put out, but more of what we are interested in here is actually the Square Enix Summer Sale, which runs from July 12th at 9 a.m. all the way through the 25th at 11:59 Pacific time. So you will have until then to grab any of these discounts on screen, and some of these games are regularly discounted, other ones not so much, but Chrono Cross the Radical Dreamers Edition is currently $9.99 or 50% off. Collection of Mana, which might be a good time to pick this up because we do know Visions of Mana, while not yet confirmed to be coming to a Nintendo console, I believe will be coming to Nintendo's successor console, and you can kind of check out the original of the series where you get all three OG Mana games in one bundled collection for $15.99 or 60% off its regular price, so definitely not a bad discount. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion right now is discounted to $24.99 or 50% off its regular price. Speaking of games I hope we see released on the next gen Nintendo console, I'm hopeful they bring Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth eventually over to that platform, so might be a good time to start brushing up on your Final Fantasy VII lore, and it doesn't have to necessarily stop with that particular game because we have a number of other Final Fantasy games on sale. Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince. Now, I have heard this game very much compared to like a Pokemon type of experience, but in the world of Dragon Quest, which I am not super familiar with myself, but just looking at the gameplay trailer and some of the various different things I've seen online about this game, it seems like it has a large fan following, definitely a dedicated fan base around it. And while it's normally sold at a full $60 price point, as of the sale, you can pick it up for $41.99. Dragon Quest Treasures is currently $29.99 or 50% off its regular retail. Final Fantasy IX is $8.39 or 60% off. Final Fantasy VII, $6.39, 60% off. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, $7.99 or 60% off right now. Then you have Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster Collection for $19.99, 60% off. Good pickup there. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age is $20 right now. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD, $11.99. Harvestella, which is kind of an original RPG farming simulator combination game from what I can tell from Square Enix, which looks good enough from the trailers I've seen. It's half price right now, or $30 instead of its regular $60. We do typically see that game go on sale, but it's not always discounted, so maybe not a bad time to look into it. Legend of Mana, a more recent Mana game, at least in comparison to the originals we were talking about, is currently 60% off or $11.99 right now. Neo The World Ends With You is 60% off, $23.99. Nier Automata, or Automata, however you say it, $23.99 or 40% off. This is one that I still need to add into my Nintendo Switch collection. Definitely looks like a cool mix between Devil May Cry and OG God of War games, but has like a lot of different play styles throughout. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world and definitely has received high praise for its story and gameplay overall, so maybe not a bad time to look into adding that into your collection. Octopath Traveler, a fan favorite, is $29.99 or 50% off right now. Similar price point, not exactly the same discount, but 40% off instead of 50% off. Octopath Traveler 2 you can pick up for $35.99 right now. And these are the games that kind of blew up the whole HD 2D scene, like the reason you're seeing so many of these being brought back and made nowadays, whether there be remasters of classic titles or just entirely new games in the style, largely has to do with how successful Octopath Traveler was, and we got a sequel to the game, so I don't think it sold near as well as the original, but nonetheless, both highly praised online and both pretty solid discounts going on as part of this Square Enix sale right now. Star Ocean First Departure R, $6.29. Star Ocean The Second Story R, $34.99, a more recent release and a more in-depth game in terms of the quality of the remake, and I really liked the visual style for this one, taking that HD 2D pixel art style but merging it into like a more seamless 3D world. A really cool looking game at the end of the day, so definitely look into that. Trials of Mana, the remake, is $20 or 60% off its regular $50 price point. Voice of the Cards, The Forsaken Maiden. I am not familiar with either of these two games, but they are each $11.99 right now, and you actually have 3 of them, it looks like, so a whole trilogy there to look into. The Life is Strange games they're definitely more of a visual novel type of story heavy game. I can't personally get into these too much, but I do know that they have a pretty large fan base surrounding them online, and all about between 50 and 70% off, kind of in that $15 to $20 price range, depending on which Life is Strange game you want to pick up. Life is Strange True Colors, I believe, is the most recent one, and that will about do it for the Square Enix sale. And then next up, we have to hop over to Nintendo Life and actually look at kind of some of the notable things that are on sale right now as part of Amazon Prime Day. Now, the big asterisk to this is if you were watching this video even a day after it's gone up, most likely these price points will not match. You can definitely still check and see. I will have this exact website I am looking at linked in the description down below, so you can see if maybe the discounts are still intact on some of the games, but largely a lot of these games that are discounted are part of the Amazon Prime Day sale, which will end the day after this video is posted. So Prime Day only lasts a couple days, unfortunately, but I still wanted to mention some of these briefly. We won't spend a whole lot of time on each game. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, it's almost always on sale, but $20 is a good time to pick that up if it was one you were wanting, especially for your physical collection. Story of Seasons, Pioneer of Olive Town is $20, Rune Factory 5, $20, all physical. I think you have maybe the option to buy some of these digital if you prefer, but physical definitely intact. Sonic Superstars, a heavy recommendation for me as just a major 2D Sonic fan. This is essentially the new Super Mario Bros. Treatment for modern 2D Sonic games. It's everything you know and love about the original 2D Sonic games, but with a modern coat of paint and that 4-player co-op intact. Online is not supported for the co-op feature, but you can do it locally, and admittedly, even with local play, it's kind of hard to keep up with multiple Sonic characters on screen at once. I definitely noticed some jankiness in the camera trying to focus on which character needs to be in frame and things, but a lot of fun. Not the best soundtrack in a 2D Sonic ever compared to some of the classics, but $22.99 for the physical edition of Sonic Superstars is honestly a steal in my opinion. So if you've been on the fence for that one, adding it into your collection, now's a really good opportunity to do so. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is $25 instead of its $34.99 regular price. Great physical pickup for collectors out there. Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection is $27.99 instead of its $40 regular retail. So good opportunity for, again, classic game collectors to pick these up, especially if you're a physical collector. Super Mario RPG, I had a ton of fun with this game. $40 right now instead of its $60 regular price. This is a first-party Nintendo game, so these are unfortunately rare to see discounted, and considering how recent this one is in Nintendo's release schedule, it's good to see it going for $40 and definitely a steal of a price point in my opinion to play a timeless classic from the SNES era, the original Mario RPG starting point, and now look at all the Mario RPG games we are getting, so it's exciting time to be a Mario RPG fan. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the game that will never die and stop selling, is $50 right now instead of its $60 regular. And you do have Super Mario Bros. Wonder with, the smallest discount on the list, but also one that if you don't own, I'm gonna highly recommend you to check it out at some point. Hopefully during the holiday season, we see a little bit of a steeper discount on this game, but even at $52 with part of this sale, I would say this is an absolute must own in any Switch owner's collection. If you are a fan of 2D platforming games like from back in the SNES era, and you want a modern version of those games, this honestly feels like probably the best game in the 2D Mario franchise since Super Mario World, and that's kind of been ranked as my favorite 2D Mario platformer of all time, with Mario Bros 3 being like a close second right behind it. So Mario Wonder is elevated in that exact conversation as maybe my favorite 2D Mario game ever, and that's really saying something because I love 2D Mario games. So again, $52, not the best discount, but also just one that's an excellent game. We will kind of go down the UK deals here because you are having some over in that region of the world as well, some different games on screen. We just won't spend any length of time on exactly which ones, but again, this website will be linked in the description down below should you want to go check it out. I do believe I saw Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance also discounted in the US, so it's possible that they're missing some of the discounts that are there. Do want to point out that it is a great time to pick up anything memory related as part of Amazon Prime Day, they just tend to discount that very aggressively. And so, you know, 256 gigabytes, SanDisk Ultra micro SD card for under 20 bucks. Definitely not a bad time to pick up stuff like that. If you want to go crazy and to get the 1 terabyte Legend of Zelda edition, it's 99 bucks right now as part of the US sale. So remember, Amazon Prime Day, only the day you're watching the video. Some accessories on screen as well on sale, but you can go through all this on your own time. Let me know in the comments down below if you're picking up anything as part of this Amazon sale, if you're excited to hopefully add in any new games to your Nintendo Switch collection, and what games you're ultimately most excited to see throughout the rest of 2024 for the Nintendo Switch. So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation, and I will see you guys in the next video.